Welcome! This is the first of my 15 Days of Halloween series, and today we will be making a zombie look. I have two pre-made prosthetics for this look, and I'll be making a new one today to show you the process. I make my prosthetics with liquid latex and thin paper, such as a toilet paper or tissues, but today I will be using paper towels because that's what I have handy. To make the prosthetic, you spread a thin layer of liquid latex onto a smooth plastic surface. Anything can work, like this old CD case. After you make the shape you want, take your paper product and make sure it is separated into only one ply and then lay it over the area. You can leave it to dry on its own, or to speed up the process, you can use a hair dryer. When it is dry, you can put another layer of liquid latex and paper, and you'll want to do 3 to 5 layers in total, making sure each layer is dry before you move on to the next. And then finish the prosthetic off with the top layer of liquid latex. Now that it's dry, I'm going to set it aside and start with my other makeup. I start here with foundation and then add tan white splotches and dark brown splotches to add texture to my face. I brush brown under my eyes to give them a sunken-in look. Now right here, it's important that you realize you don't like the song that came on autoplay and you have to skip it. Next, I go back to my new prosthetic and start to mold the wound. You can put the prosthetic on first and then shape it, but I prefer to use the X-Acto knife before it gets put on my actual face. I cut straight lines into the prosthetic and peel it open, letting the liquid latex stick to itself and form skin folds. When you are happy with how it looks, you can peel it off gently. I decide to apply my old prosthetic first, so I align where I want it to go and brush over the exposed skin with pink eyeshadow. Using the blush areas as a guide, I layer deeper reds, browns, and black to create the optical illusion of a deep gash. Then it is time to put the prosthetic on. I line the edge with fresh liquid latex and put a few drops in the middle to secure it and press it in place. I go over the black cream makeup with a black eyeliner to give it the wet, glossy look. And now for the fun part, the fake blood. You should start with putting the liquid blood on the black parts that represent the deeper sections of the wound, and then just follow your heart. I use a stipple sponge to add a textured look and get rid of any clean makeup lines I see. I go over my nose and forehead to make the left side of my face all look coherent. I put black and yellow on the corner of my mouth and stipple sponge blood over it to give it more of a decaying look. For smaller cuts, using a liquid latex prosthetic isn't needed. You can just put blood where you want to form a cut. I put a big glob of fake blood on the bridge of my nose and let gravity take it from there. Of course, when using liquid materials, you'll want to wear something you don't mind getting dirty, because sometimes Alright, now I am ready to tackle my new prosthetic. First, I clean up the edges, making sure there isn't too much exposed paper poking out. Then, I check how it'll fit where I want to put it. While I could have technically put it there, you have to be really careful not to put liquid latex too close to your eye, so I decided to trim off some of the excess. Then, I followed the same steps as the other side of my face, marking the visible areas and layering the different reds, pinks, browns, and blacks. But to make this side different, I added more yellow to make it look infected. I put a line of liquid latex around the edge and applied it to my face. I used foundation to match the color of the prosthetic to my face. Then I didn't like how it was laying, so I added another pass of the liquid latex on the outside edge, careful not to get too close to my eye. And then I set it using the hairdryer. I touched up the current makeup and then stipple sponged over it. I wasn't quite happy with the prosthetic color yet, but I decided to move on and come back to it later. I added some liquid blood to the area and then wanted to make a thin cut on my forehead. For this one, I put down a black line for the shape and went over with the other colors before topping it off with the liquid blood. Next, I turned my attention to my lips. I coat them in white to take the life out of them. By bringing the white over the edge of my lip, it makes them asymmetrical and increases the decaying look. I stipple sponge black onto it to add contrast. Now onto my eyes. I brush red onto my eyelids and mix brown and red under my eyes to make them look bloodshot. Then, using the brown, I define the nasal bone up to my eyebrow and define my eye socket and make it look sunken in. I add yellow and some liquid blood under my eye. I stipple sponge down my neck to use the whole canvas for the look. And then I add black lines to my lips to make them look dry and cracked. Finally, I am ready to tackle blending the new prosthetic. I bring the red and brown from under my eyes over the prosthetic and blend it out, and put another layer of foundation on. I add some accents of liquid blood to round out the face. I decide I want to add one more feature, so I take an old prosthetic to make a flayed piece of flesh on my neck. I brush some pink around the edge to find the area I have to work with, and then put liquid latex to secure it. I layer the reds into the wound area and stipple sponge over it. Then for the final touch, I put a couple drops of food coloring in my mouth so my teeth don't distract from the look. I started with blue, and then my camera died. So I came back to show what it looked like with not only the blue, but also a couple drops of red. And there you go! I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to come back tomorrow to see what we have planned for the rest of our 15 days of Halloween. So long! This is the worst part about doing all the fun makeup.